We get into arguments very often, and sometimes these can get pretty messy and lead to a fight if we don't keep things under control. Some guys like causing arguments as it allows them to use their intimidating demeanor to oppress their much weaker opponent. Getting into an argument is easy, but defending yourself is not so easy, especially if your opponent is more prepared than you. However, Sigma males are pretty good at defending themselves in arguments. They make it look so easy that it feels like they're not putting in any effort. Although they hate getting involved in fights, they cannot avoid them. So they've developed skills to defend themselves from bullies and other people who want to take advantage of them. If you're interested in finding out how they do this, here are 10 ways Sigma males effortlessly defend themselves in any argument. 1. They point out any misquotation. When involved in arguments, Sigma males do more listening than talking. This gives them an edge over their opponent. While many people think that talking is the best way to defend yourself in an argument, Sigma men prefer to listen carefully to what the other person has to say. That way, they can easily spot when they have been misquoted, and they quickly point it out. If the person is trying to use a Sigma's words in another way, Sigma males swiftly respond and draw out that error so that their opponent cannot use their words to portray a different meaning. These men remain silent for most of the argument, so their opponents think they're winning. But Sigma men know that winning is not all about talking. While they may not speak much, they know how to listen and observe. This gives them the advantage of knowing what their opponents are trying to do, making them ready to catch any misquotation. 2. They watch out for abusive interruptions. Imagine trying to explain something and someone keeps cutting you off every single time you try to. When they keep doing this continuously, you get frustrated and give up. Some people use these tactics to silence their rivals in arguments. By doing this, they forcefully impose their will on others and don't even allow them to defend themselves. However, Sigma males will never let that happen. They will not stand by and allow themselves to get interrupted before saying anything meaningful. When people attack Sigmas, they expect them to be shy and submissive, but they are nothing like that. They are bold and courageous, and they're not afraid of anything. If they're constantly interrupted, they will call out the person for doing so and make sure the person doesn't ever do that again. When Sigma men have anything to say, they want the chance to fully express themselves. Interrupting them is not something they take nicely. Sigma males are not afraid and will stand up to those who do that. They never allow themselves to get abused in any way and will not permit it in an argument. 3. They realize what's going on before it's too late. The Sigma's mind is his greatest weapon and keeps him ahead of others every time. People who pick up fights have a reason for doing so. They make sure they can win before they draw out their target. However, if your target is a Sigma, things might not be as easy as you think. Sigma males are sharp at picking and connecting the dots. They use patterns of words or gestures used by opponents to determine if something else has been planned before it even happens. If the argument is aimed at forcing them to do something they would naturally avoid, Sigmas will not make any rash decisions because they know their opponent is trying to force them by putting pressure on them. No matter the excuse for the argument, these men know that nothing happens without reason. The person that started the argument has a reason for doing so. Sigma males on their own would never pick a fight with anyone, but if they're called out, they will not let themselves be used. 4. They stay calm and confident even when provoked. Arguments constantly include provocation because when two people disagree on something, they can go to extreme lengths to prove themselves right, even if it means stepping on the other person's toes. However, Sigma males don't get angry when they are provoked. They remain calm and continue saying what is on their minds. They will not derail just to fight back. Instead, they just focus on proving their point. They know that if they fall for the bait, they could lose everything they've tried to build in the discussion. People will overlook all the other things they've said before and focus on their response to the provocation. While normal people will respond to any instigation in an argument, Sigma males maintain their confidence level. They know the impulse was just a cheap shot thrown by their rival, so they'll not fall for it. Some people deliberately provoke an opponent because they know the person will lose their calm and act out. When this happens, they play the victim, and everyone else around believes them. This trick has been used time and time again to make people lose focus, and it often works. Sometimes, it's not deliberate, but it often works in favor of the person that provokes the other. But when met with a calm response, onlookers immediately see what is going on, and it backfires. Sigma men use this as a defensive tool when they're involved in any argument. 5. They don't let themselves be intimidated or bullied. A Sigma man is not afraid of bullies. He's called the lone wolf because he can take care of himself without anyone's help, including taking care of bullies. Sigma males will never let themselves get intimidated for any reason whatsoever. They are confident and not afraid of what anyone has to say. Forcing a Sigma into submission in an argument is almost impossible. He will not back down, especially when he knows he is right. Sigma males may be calm and gentle, but they're not the kind of people you want to pick a fight with. No matter how big a bully they face, they will not back down. They want any argument they're caught up in to be fair. They want the truth, and they'll accept nothing less. No matter how smart or huge a rival in an argument is, they will not think themselves unworthy to stand in front of such a person. They believe in fairness and justice, and that's what they strive for. If you try to pick a fight with a Sigma, think twice. He won't let himself be intimidated or bullied in any way. He will make sure things stay fair. 6. They are observant of any logic gaffes. Sigma males are men of high intellect. They are also great observers. They pay attention to whatever is going on in any argument they're involved in. They don't care about winning or losing the fight. All they want is for the right thing to happen. They watch out for inconsistencies in logic and use them to quiet their rivals in an argument. They spot anything that's not what it should be and bring it up to defend themselves. Sigma men are very observant people, so it's easy for them to spot any logic gaps. When they find such, they'll use it to defend themselves whenever it is needed. They will not allow themselves to get humiliated. It often comes as a shock when they use this because their opponents feel that no one can spot such minor gaffes. But Sigma men are too attentive that nothing slips past them without them noticing. They will reveal such things when confronted, leaving their opponent speechless. 7. They acknowledge and find common ground. Sigma males hate arguments, so they'll do whatever is necessary to end it as quickly as possible. This includes finding something that both they and their rivals agree on so they can find a way to end things. Even though a Sigma doesn't agree with every other thing his opponent is saying, if a shared opinion is brought up, he will accept it so that the argument will come to an end. However, this is not a sign of weakness in any way. Sigma men are not scared of whatever the other person has to say or do. All they want is to reach a midpoint so they don't keep wasting their time and energy on the argument. Sometimes, people refuse to acknowledge shared opinions because they feel they will look weak. But in truth, it's a better way to end things and save yourself all the trouble. Even though they may not agree on everything with their rivals, Sigma men understand that everybody thinks differently. Still, they'll acknowledge any shared opinion, and they'll find a way to reach a compromise. 8. They use positive body language. When Sigma males are involved in an argument, they respond not just in words but with their bodies also. They stand or position themselves in a way that doesn't threaten the other person. They want to show that they don't want to fight and that they should just end things right there. They'll not try to intimidate their opponent, nor will they show a lack of interest in the debate. When people feel they're being ignored or toyed with in an argument, they become furious and things begin to escalate. Even if the statement was nothing serious or personal, The disrespect could take things to another level. Positive body language gives off the vibe that you're involved in whatever is going on, and sometimes this eases off the pressure. This method is significantly employed by Sigma men when they are caught up in any argument because it helps resolve things faster. 9. They avoid absolutes and black and white thinking. Sigma males are not extremists. They're open to new ideas and understand that circumstances are more complex than the conventional black and white that most people paint them as. They are open-minded and will accept ideas and opinions that make sense. They won't remain stubborn about their views just because they think it is right. Once something is meaningful and true, Sigma men will change their perspective on that thing. They don't believe in absolute white and black. There's always some gray area in between, and they acknowledge that fact. This is why they are so good at resolving conflicts and arguments. They think of all the possible outcomes before saying something and take every other thing into consideration. This makes them level-headed, a quality that most people admire in Sigma men. 10. They don't take things personally, but rather focus on facts. Sigma males are not the kind of people that take things personally. They don't mind if their ideas and opinions are challenged. What matters to them are facts. If they're wrong, they accept it and pick corrections. They won't remain stubborn in changing their views just because they're hurt. Sigma men learn quickly and don't want to repeat previous mistakes. All you need to change the Sigma's mind is the truth. Even if they're hurt in an argument, they take it as a way of building themselves for the better. Sigma males look out for details during the debate. They don't pay attention to side comments aimed at reducing their confidence. They focus on facts and remain emotionally stable throughout the whole argument. Taking things personally can turn the discussion into a brawl, so that Sigma males will keep their emotions in check and focus only on the meaningful part.